I searched high and low on YouTube and I was unable to find any videos on how to remove this serpentine belt here that goes to the power steering on a 2007, 2008 Mitsubishi Outlander. There's no tensioner on this one. I mean, this one's pretty easy. The tensioner is right there, that little knobby one closest to the crank pulley. That one comes off really easy, but this one over here is almost impossible to pull off. So you can see one of the bolts poking out from within the pulley. There's two more in there, and then this one closest to the crank, sort of a hinge for the power steering pump. So if you're lucky, the holes in the power steering pump will align perfectly with where those bolts are. If not, you just need to slap a 22 socket on a breaker bar, turn the crank around until that opening gets to exactly where you need it to be. You're going to need a 22 mil to rotate the crank to get the power steering, the little openings on the power steering pulley to align with the bolts. You'll need a little 12. You might be able to get put a tiny little adapter and get a little bit of a spacing on there if one of them is difficult to get to and you want to use a bigger bar, but you can't use much more than this as a spacer for the shallow sockets. So you'll use the 12 to get the bolts out of the pulley, and you'll use 14 with, and I got a tiny little extension on here. The deep sockets are going to go just as long or even a little bit longer, so you can't use deep sockets, but this tiny little extension on the 14 will work just fine to get that hinge bolt out that's closest to the crank. These are the bolts that go into the in between the pulley openings there for the power steering pump. I used a magnet to fish them out because they were really tricky to get to. This last one I'm going to have to jack the motor up to get that last one out. There's a little cavity off there on the passenger side where that bolt should be able to slip out into, but it pivots on this bolt right here. And I've got the motor mount is already off, getting ready to do a timing chain replacement. So we're using this jack stand with a little block of wood against the oil pan to raise and lower the motor. So I'm going to take the vehicle down now and raise the motor up a little bit, get that last bolt out of there. And as you can see, this thing has, let's see if I can get a light turn on. There we go. It's able to move around in there. I just need to get that last one out. I don't know if you can see that, but it's able to move. I just need to get that last one out, and it'll pivot down and release the tension on this and allow me to get that belt off without damaging anything. I'm gonna go ahead and lower it down now. Okay, so as I lower the car down, that's raising the motor up a little bit, and I think I should be able to fish this last one out right now. There we go, yep. So this last one, I'm really sorry for the bad camera work. It's the best I can do. Okay, there we go. So this last one will come out over here into this little cavity, and then the power steering pump is free. So you've got one long and two shorties. So this will be at the 9 o'clock position, this will be at the roughly 5 o'clock, and this is at the 3 o'clock position on the power steering pump. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out that, I'm gonna pull out the bolt that it kind of hinges on over at the 4 to 5 o'clock position and see if that gives me a little bit more play. Okay. All right, let's see here. There we go, it's actually coming away from the block now, a little bit here in the rear. Okay, I've put enough force on this thing that it dropped downward toward the ground. And let's see if I can get it off. Come on, baby. Come on, work with me here. Almost. If I had two hands, this would be a lot easier. Come on, almost there. Almost there. Come on. Almost there. Got it. Whew. Okay. Backside. Come on. There we go. Whew. All right, my friends, so that is how you remove that without a tensioner. You just have to release the tension on the power steering pump. You see the play there, so you can get it down a little bit, relieve the tension, go ahead and slip it right off with no damage done.